This is your favorite segment, Navigators, and today we're navigating the world of Young at Heart with Ashley Pappas. What is the nature of your business?
I'm an artist.
How long have you been in the industry of art for, and what inspired you to go this route?
I've been in the industry now for 2 years. I've had my own business, but I would say that I've always sold art. It's definitely, back in my school days, that's how I used to make my pocket money. Since I was about 14, I've always sold art.
It's been actually in your blood for that long.
Yeah, I never actually knew it. But my mom would always tell me as a girl, all I ever wanted to do was just colour in, and I could just sit there for hours colouring in. So
that's how it actually started. Yeah. And how has the journey been for you in the last 2 years? What would you say have been your greatest highlights or the achievements of your business so far?
I would say the greatest achievements are obviously the big jobs that I've done. I've worked in Steyn City and done quite a few houses in Waterfall Estate. But I would say my biggest achievements aren't always my biggest jobs. It's the small moments that count, you know, the achievements of where I feel completed. After I've done a painting, I feel a sense of contentment and happiness, and you know, you're actually so proud of yourself that, wow, I did this, you know, nobody else. So I would say it's all those moments of completing something where you're really happy with what you've done. Those are also my biggest achievements.
And what would you say makes your brand of artwork unique? I mean, there are a lot of artists out there, you know, and hundreds of galleries. What makes your particular work unique?
I would say the route that I'm trying to take is not really conventional in terms of always going to a gallery and being very conceptual, which is what I studied. I think that it's important for people to know that if you want to buy art, you don't always have to go to a gallery where you often feel intimidated. You know, art is often seen as something that people buy if you've got money and if you know what you're talking about. And I don't think art has to be like that. So I want to bring something to the art world that just shows that anybody and everybody can enjoy art, and they can even be inspired by, you know, them giving me an idea and saying, can you paint this, can you do this, and then you create that idea for them. So it also can be something personal for them, even though they didn't paint the work.
And how long does it take to paint a piece of artwork? I mean, you've got paintings that range from, you know, A4 size, very small, to very large, almost wall-filling sizes. How long does it take to complete a painting?
I have been told that I'm a really fast painter. I don't know. I think that's the Joburg coming out in me, you know, got to get things done. But it all depends on the detail of the artwork. Sometimes pieces are very detailed and you really got to take notice and take your time with it. And some pieces are maybe a lot bigger, but they'll take you quicker because it's not so detailed in smaller sections. So it all depends on the piece of work.
Okay. And do you have a favorite painting of all the artwork that you've done so far?
I do have a favorite painting, and it's sitting behind me. That's why it's here. Most of my artwork's not with me. Obviously, it's been sold, and all the furniture that I do, I take in furniture as well, and I redo it up, and I can, you know, paint certain designs on it. That all goes to the clients. So this one and a few of the other ones like this are still with me, and I refuse to sell them, actually. I've had buyers, but I didn't want to sell them.
Why is this your favorite piece of artwork? I actually was trying to figure out what I'm looking at. I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing behind you.
If I tell you, you'll get it. It's an image of my face underwater, but the photograph was taken outside of the pool. So my friend, she's a photographer, was standing outside of the pool while I went under the water, and she took this photo. And people often think it's an abstract painting, but it's not. It's quite realistic to the actual image, because water naturally distorts your skin and your image when you put it underwater. So it's an exact replica of the painting, of the picture. It's just that it's an abstract image.
Well, now that you said, I actually can see the water bubbles coming out of your mouth and your hair all over. Yes, I can actually see it more clearly now.
At that stage.
I can see.
Yeah.
And are there any challenges in this industry, and what are they, if any?
There's obviously that stigma attached to being an artist, that you're going to be a poor artist. And I think that it's not necessarily always the case. I think like any business, you have to take baby steps. So it'll be slow in the beginning and you'll feel really despondent. So you've got to be persistent and just carry on. The challenge is also that sometimes you feel you might not make a sustainable living out of it. I mean, myself as well, you know, I got to think about my future and will I be able to sustain myself? Maybe I should have become a hairdresser and, you know, or studied accountancy or something. But that's not actually where my heart was going. I also find that sometimes the challenge is within yourself, that it's a personal challenge. You know, do you have the confidence to be an artist? Do you have the confidence to know that this will sustain you and you can do it, you can make a living out of it? I think that's what makes a difference, because people will see on your face and it'll come through your work that you know what you're doing. And there are people out there that buy art. There are people out there that want their homes done and their furniture done. And it's just definitely persistence and believing in yourself. As cliche as it sounds, you really have to believe in yourself, because I found that my whole family supports me and my friends, and they're all like, wow, you're so good, Ashley, you know, you're so lucky. But I was the one sitting there going, I'm never going to make it. I can't do this. Like, you know, will I ever be good enough, you know, to have this as a career? So that's the difference. I have to believe in myself, and I have to know that this is what I want to do.
And what is your day typically like? Are you always feeling creative? Do you always want to paint? You know, I always wonder.
Well, it's quite funny you say that, because sometimes I have these moments where I have to paint. Yeah, and I know that I've got to, you know, paint these certain paintings. And sometimes I feel like I don't want to see a paintbrush. If I've had a really long week or a few weeks where I'm working on site and it's really long days, you know, you get up there, you go early, and it's very physical. My job is very physical, you know, my back aches and I'm up and down the ladder 100 times, and sometimes I'm always falling off a ladder or I'm on a scaffolding, like, so sometimes I'm just physically drained, so I don't want to see a paintbrush. But I just know that this is what I do and I do love it. And when I think about having an office job, that's when I know I definitely want to paint.
And have you ever had a moment where perhaps you were working on a painting and maybe by mistake you might have spilled the wrong color paint onto the canvas? You know, what happens on days like that? How do you fix such things?
Yeah, I've had moments where things don't go my way and I'll paint something and I'll look at it and I'm like, this is the worst painting I've ever done. I'll just turn it around and totally forget about it, or I'll just, you know, I mean, I'm an artist. I mean, I don't work a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes I say to myself, I'm taking the day off today. And, you know, that's just what I have to do, you know. Sometimes I think to myself, damn, why didn't I work? Because now I've, like, got a backlog. But it's the nature of being your own boss and being creative, as they say. I often use it as an excuse as well. You know, if I'm very temperamental and, you know, I do find sometimes I'm in really good moods, and then sometimes I'm not really in a good mood. I always just use that like as an excuse sometimes. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I'm allowed to feel like this.
And what is your day typically like? What do you get up to?
Well, like I said, when I'm on site, it can be very busy, and you physically busy the whole day. So I literally will like eat my lunch while I'm still painting, and sometimes my right arm gets sore that I've actually taught myself to paint with my left arm with certain things, not the detail things, but you know, like if I got to paint, then I'll just like rest my right arm and then swap, you know, because in this industry, time is money. So you also can't be too long, because if I can produce 2 paintings in a week, then you know, I must produce as much as I can, rather than producing 1 painting in a month. Do you know what I'm saying? Or getting 1 client, 1 decorative space that I need to finish. Yeah.
And to somebody who's sitting at home who might be an artist at heart, or who's just inspired to start their own business, what would your words of advice be to them?
I would definitely say that you need to be persistent and believe in yourself. If it is something you know you can do and you're really passionate about it, and being an artist or being artistic, don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because it's your life at the end of the day. you live one life and you need to be happy. If you're gonna go to work every day and know that you are happy, then that's what you need to do, because our life is made up of work 80% of the time. So if you're not doing what you enjoy, 80% of your life is going to be unhappy and miserable. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, there you have it. You have to have a passion and be persistent in achieving and accomplishing your dream. That's navigating the world of Young at Heart.